Hey there, comic book fans. I'm back from the comic shop this week. It was a pretty big week for me. I got 7 new comics. Well, maybe one doesn't quite count as a comic because it's the Lazarus source book. I'm not even sure why I got this. As much as I enjoy the Lazarus series, wow, this thing goes into more depth than I really need in Lazarus. So it's lots of text, lots of explaining the world of Lazarus and what the countries mean now and who runs. I never got Lazarus Sourcebook 1, but I got Sourcebook 2, and I never. Well, I did have fun flipping through it and reading a little bit here and there, but I can't say I really read it. So it's a governance. There's even little tabs for which section it is. Crime and dissent. But what the heck? I enjoy Lazarus. The Lazarus X plus 66 miniseries just ended with, I think it was this Vasilovka in this territory. They gave us a little story about the Lazarus in that territory. So I'm not telling you I'm going to read this thing from cover to cover, but at least I'll check it out some. And next we have Department H, issue 23. Only one issue after this to go. And we'll find out who killed her dad if she survives her way to the surface. There's the wraparound cover. I wonder what they're doing next. I haven't heard what Matt Kindt is doing next. I know he writes a lot of books for Valiant and whoever, but he usually, since I think Mind Management a few years ago, I guess it's been 5 years now of him having his own book with his wife doing the colors. Matt and Charlene Kindt. So I wonder if he's going to have another one from Dark Horse. I think, let's see. There she is trying to make it to the surface. Where and where is the... Oh, they don't have us the thing filling up now, but... Don't want to spoil anything for you because it's nearly the end. But, yeah, I think Department H was about 3 years... Maybe it was 31 issues, just under 3 years worth, or... And this one at 24 issues is 2 years worth. I think this has come out monthly. I don't remember it taking any breaks. So we should have I guess we have a new Matt Kindt one. I'm going to look up what it is because I think I got the first issue of this late because I didn't realize that there was a new Matt Kindt comic coming out. So I'll have to keep my eyes open this time. But one more issue and the story will be done. And next we have Birthright, issue 30. Williamson, Bresson, and Lucas. Skybound book. Taking place, I think now, Ireland, I think we're in. Where our family of this guy right here, who's been unconscious the last few issues because they had to sedate him because he's the hero of the book, but he's also evil. And so his, and this is the big evil lord taking the hero on this dream journey. This is a flashback right here. Because this big guy right here, the hero of our story, was supposed to kill this guy, but he couldn't. And he somehow recruited him to go to Earth, and now that big evil guy is trying to conquer Earth. And these are all somewhere in here are the people trying to stop him. His family. His brother, his mother, his father, his grandfather are all kind of wizards. And there's stuff going on. It's been a good fantasy series since the beginning. That's not a bad cover. I must say that this hasn't had a lot of good covers for some reason, but that one's all right. But the insides are very nice. Bresson is a really good. What's his first name? Andre Bresson, really good artist. Dre Lucas does some nice colors too on it. So overall, Birthright's been a entertaining book for 30 issue or for 29 issues. I'm sure 30 will be too. And Monstrous, issue number 14, is by Marjorie Liu and Seina Takeda. Is back to regular $4 price and size after a $5 issue last issue, which was bigger. And oh my goodness, was that last issue confusing. Only in that it was like a 40-page story and it had been on hiatus for a while, and there are just so many it's so many warring parties in this story. Whoops, I just tilted my... There are so many warring parties in this story, along with... We have her, the hero of our story, who's got a monster inside her. She's traveling with a cat who has all, is a cat wizard or something, who is loyal to his cat wizard tribe. That's the monster inside her, this giant eye thing. Then they've got the pirates, they've got the humans, they've got the half animal people. They all have different... Last issue, it's like it was 40 pages of 3 or 4 pages of 7 factions all plotting against each other. So by the end, my head was spinning. I was like, which faction is which? Who's plotting against who, where? But it's a lot of fun. The art is very, kind of fantasy-like and ethereal, and lots of like light watercolor-ish things with delicate lines and decorative elements on the binoculars and such things. It's a fun book. I'm enjoying it. I'm glad it's back down to $4 too, because even with the extra pages, I just don't want to pay $5 for things. And here we go with Maestros. We're up to issue number 5 already. Another fantasy book. This one, much more bawdy fantasy book, as you can see by the cover, with all sorts of bawdy drawings going on. But this is our Maestros, a guy who's just inherited a magical empire that basically rules the entire universe. Except he's gone to Devil Land here to try to recruit an ally who he met 10 years ago, and I don't think it's going so. His entrance into Devil Land, or whatever it's called, whatever Hades hellscape it is, did not go so well at the end of last issue. This is a flashback to when he was young, I'm guessing. That's not current times. But this has been a really fun sword and sorcery book. Looks like our magical people are on Earth. But this is the head bad guy right there. And that tall guy is is a real bad guy who he's kind of has enslaved to him. So, and this guy's whole royal family was killed, and now he had to take over the universe, and it's just chaos. But it's a well-done story. I enjoy it. I'm looking forward to more Monstro. Eternal Empire, issue number 7. Yet another fantasy story. Sarah Vaughn and Jonathan Luna. And I really don't know what this was. 7 issues in. I can't describe this one easily, except to say it's kind of an old school... Who did Ursula Le Guin, was it? I read the Earthsea trilogy back when I was in high school, and it kind of reminds me of that. I just remember, it just reminds me of that, in that it takes place in this little world right here, and it's kind of a really well-defined fantasy world with borders and rules of its own, and it's not a big sprawling world. It's kind of a small claustrophobic world, and you're kind of learning the rules of this world, and that's what it's about, us learning the rules of this world. And these two right here just kind of broke the rules of the world, and that they were serfs or peasants or slaves, except they both ran away at the same time and discovered they have superpowers of the making flaming swords if they're near each other. But what does that really mean? Because everybody else has got swords too, so they're not especially superpowered, but they might have to do with some prophecy, yada, yada, yada. We'll have to see, because this has been all about defining the rules of this world. So we'll have to see what rules they got for us this month. And our final book of the week, Empowered and Sister Spooky's High School Hell, by Adam Warren and Carla Speed McNeil on the art. If she's drawing it, I'm buying it. If she's writing it, even better. Drowning in her own tears, shattered by the meanest magic mirror. And I think I can best describe this as a video game. It's kind of structured like that, in that it was really Spooky Sister here who got who this demon fella doesn't like and wants to punish her. So he scooped up her and Empowered and sent her to this Sister Spooky's actual high school with the actual magical powered girls from her magical high school who all hate her. and they're generally blondes because they traded their souls for beauty way back in high school, and now they're all trying to kill her in this. And they all have these superpowers that they use, and she has to figure out the gimmick to defeat their superpowers. And then they have to go on to the next level, and I guess they're gonna, fight an end boss at some time. But it's very, very video game structured, but it's a lot of fun. Like I said, I love the expelled means she was defeated. I love the Carla Speed McNeil and they've got this is a magical spell that compels them to run with their books like that between classes. So that's just a weird little thing in this book. But I haven't read much Empowered. I have a friend who swears by it. But I'm enjoying this one, that's for sure. Here we go. We'll show you my background art. I think these were from the early 2000s before I learned to date everything still. Tired of nothing. This I used for a print. Just going with a stripped down ink line look where you got to get every shape just so and every line just so. And I even did some actual hand type on this one rather than computer type. That's unusual. And I think these I made into small gouache paintings. Once again, about 15 years ago, I think this one was. I recognize that one. I probably printed or I converted these over to little tiny pieces of paper, individual pieces of paper. I guess I just drew them all on one piece of paper and made all tiny little paintings out of them. I have them stacked up somewhere. But there it is, a little look at some art and some comics. You guys all have a good week out there.